Mic off. Mic on.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to another stream with me. It's Radar Vectors with Lucas Meaden. Thanks everyone for coming. I know it's been a very long time since I've made a stream. We've had the holidays, we've had the new year, so happy new year to everybody. Happy holidays. I know that's quickly come to an end. We're all back to work, we're all back to school. COVID aside.
Mic off. Mic on.
There's not much more to say about COVID, so here we are back with Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. We're doing another stream today. It was an impromptu stream. Really did not plan on having a stream tonight, as it's a little event with the Pilot Club and with our friends over at SkyBlue Radio, and we're doing a fly-in to Bangor. That's in the United States, over in the East Coast, northeast of Boston.
Mic off. Mic on.
And we will get in the aircraft here and take off from Toronto Pearson. That's where we are, as you can see there on the left. And we're going to head over to Bangor. We plan to be there about 9:15 Eastern Time. It's about an hour and 14-minute flight. It's 7:25 here on the ground. So if we can get pushed back and taken off in the next 30 to 35 minutes, we should be there by about hopefully about 9:35 at the latest, 9:40. Self-loading cargo would like us to be there by 2:35 Zulu. That is 9:35 Eastern. So here we are in the aircraft. So let's go ahead and jump in. As always, guys, we are flying on Vatsim, which we aren't actually connected to just yet. So let's go ahead and do that. And we have the fly-by-wire A320. We're using the experimental mod. I know that is a bit of a risk today. Primarily because it is the new experimental branch. I know we say that just about every time, but this time the old experimental was transferred to the dev version, the development, and it was pretty stable. I think even the stable version is mostly the version we used to fly on. I could be wrong there. I think the stable might still be the Asobo Flight Plan Manager. Anyway, we're going to connect to Vatsim here really quickly, and I'll just show you guys there. So we're going to be TPC11. That's the Pilot Club. What the Pilot Club is a Discord group of great people, great friends, sim pilots, in real life pilots, and all kinds of training teams and whatnot. It's a great club to come and hang out to fly with. So we'll talk a little bit more about the Pilot Club in the air, but today will be the Flying Pilot Club 11.
Mic off. Mic on.
Let's just get the flight plan loaded in here. We're going to get rid of the preset weather warning because we did fly last Sunday and there was a lot of crash to desktop issues, so we were flying on preset weather and we were just letting ATC know that.
Mic off. Mic on.
Alright guys, so we've loaded up our flight here. From Toronto over to Bangor, and we have an alternate of Boston. We'll be flying 37,000 feet because it is an Eastern flight. Our call sign Pilot Club 11, operated by thepilotclub.org. We'll be on the dead key 4. That's what we're hoping for runway 23. That's what we looked at about 45 minutes ago when we were planning. So we'll file that. It doesn't look like we have any Toronto ATC on. That's a shame. When we did start to plan this out of Toronto, again about 45 minutes to an hour ago, there was some ATC on. There isn't anymore, so that's unfortunate. However, we'll do what we normally do on Unicom. We'll be respectful, and we will fly the TPC colors. So let's get the jetway connected and the external power. I do hope the jetway is going to work because it looked like... Oh, here it comes. Excellent. Because if the jetway doesn't work, self-loading cargo gets cranky. What I can do is turn on the batteries now, battery 1 and battery 2. And I did connect the truck. Let's see if we can
final ILS 24 left for the track.
Oh, it sounds like I'm already on Vatsim connected. That sounds good. That sounds like I'm probably already on Unicom. And that one was somebody calling with something I didn't quite hear. So we're not going to talk through the steps here too much about what we're doing because we're a little bit in a hurry. So we want to get pushed back and taken off here about as fast as we can. The nav light on, the crew air on, and the ground control on. Do the CVR test. Whoops. We'll align the adheres. 1, 2, and then 3. We'll do a quick APU test. Cargo smoke test. Make sure the wipers are off. All good. All right. So we've got a couple of housekeeping things to do here before we go any further. We just have to make sure VBOL is set up. That is Vatsim, so we did that. We know we're good. Park and brake on. Mode Charlie off. That is correct. We have to turn this on. We can get some light here in the aircraft, as it is going to be a night flight again, as per what seems to be usual on this stream. I promised you guys a daytime flight, but I took a little bit of time off. One of the things I did get during the time off over the holidays is a new headset, a new speaker system, so I hope that you guys can hear me better, and some of our audio issues finally have been resolved, because that's been a long-standing issue sort of on this stream. So if you guys can hear me now, that is excellent. Really happy to hear that. Sorry guys, just give me one quick second. I'm just trying to pull up the stream here, so I can, or pull up the chat rather. Alright, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, sir, but hello, welcome to the stream. Anyway, let's go back into the airplane here and get the rest of it set up. So we've got the flight displays powered on. We don't need much more than that, as it is going to be an evening flight tonight. So what we can do now, what we forgot to do, is get the fuel on board the aircraft. And I've got this all written down here on my operational fuel pan, but what we are going to need today is 7,250 kilograms of fuel in real time. That's going to take about 5 minutes. So let's get the fuel on board, and let's get back over to here. So what else we need to do real quickly is pull up some information from the AOC menu, get our init and our weight and balances, because that takes a little bit of time getting the passengers on board there, and we also have to get self-loading cargo set up here. There we go, guys. So here's self-loading cargo. And let's get the weight and balance set up.
I come through, we're ready to get going now, so as soon as you're ready, you can open the doors and start letting the passengers on board. Thank you.
No problem.
Mic off. Mic on.
Toronto traffic, Route 1717 is on a 3-mile final ILS 24 left Toronto traffic.
Alright guys, so that was somebody taking off coming into land ILS 24 left. That was on Unicom. So that is what the Vatsim network is that we've been talking about. That's an online network where we have other people flying, as well as live ATC if we're in their airspace, which unfortunately, as we just mentioned in Toronto, there's nobody online. Had we been over in Kitchener, it seems there's somebody's online, but as we get up into Boston's airspace, we'll definitely get some ATC, and we'll have to talk to them. So let's continue on here with what we're doing. So we are on 122.8, that is the Unicom frequency, and we are loading the passengers on board. So let's make sure that we get self-loading cargo to go, and there we go. Just bring that over real quickly. Self-loading cargo, 100 passengers remaining, 2 are on board now, so that's good. Cargo loading in process, that's a good point. So while we're here, why don't we get the baggage and the drinks on board. We'll self-loading cargo off here. Make sure we have some food on board for these guys. Sometimes that is an issue in the program, but we'll see if that happens later, and then we can talk about that. There is. So we have the food. Baggage coming right here. So this is the Pilot Club livery. This is what we were talking about before in the Discord group, Pilot Club. We have our own livery for the A320, and there's one for the CRJ, and a few other ones as well. I think there's a Cessna livery as well. So take a look at the link in the description of the video. There's a link to Pilot Club's Discord group, as well as in some of the various areas around the channel. You'll see links to the Discord group as well. So let's keep going ahead and setting up the aircraft.
Toronto traffic, route 7217, crossing runway 24 left, Toronto traffic.
I hope you guys can hear Vatsim. Someone will have to tell me how the audio is for that. So we have a cruise temperature of -53 and the tropopause of 29457. So there is an external MCDU that I could set up to one of my tablets. I haven't done that yet. I haven't ventured there. I know that Fly-by-Wire has just released that a little while ago, so that's pretty interesting. So that is something that I have to venture into, take a look at, because I have my tablet sitting right here, which sometimes I use for charts, but I have my other monitor, and I usually use that for the charts. It's a little more interactive and quicker to use. So we're just going to keep going on our flow, on the diffs flow, data, init, flight plan. So here we are in CYYZ. Unfortunately, there isn't an ATIS here, but I got the real world ATIS, and the winds are 2-3, gusting about 8 knots or something like that. We'll take a look again together, but I know we're going to be taking off from runway 23. There it is. And we're going to be using the dead key for departure today. We're going to transition through Rakam.
Toronto traffic, route 7217, crossing future traffic.
Make sure that this is all sequenced properly. So what we'll do actually together is just go through the departure. So I will bring up Navigraph here. That's right there. That's probably really big, so I'll shrink that down just a little bit. Oh, close it. So there's Navigraph, and here's the dead key for departure. So what we're going to be doing is flying runway 23 on a heading of 245, which is right here, and it's also right up here, as you can see in the MCDU. And that's going to be on runway heading, which is also a manual here. So we have the flight plan discontinuity. As you see, there's no line between heading 245 and Sabre. It'll be radar vectors and no turns, no turns before 1100 feet. So that's all in here, 1100 feet on the manual, and here's Sabre. And then after that we have Second. So we'll bring that back up, and you can see Second, and then after Second it will be dead key, and then we're using the Rakam transition, so there'll be dead key, IGSEB, and Rakam. So if we just go back over here, get rid of that, and double check that dead key, IGSEB, Rakam. Now, do I have Rakam in there twice? Seems I do. So let's take a look at what the flight plan looks like as we do this. So I can pull that up. Hopefully you guys can see that one. So there's IGSEP, there's Rakam, and yeah, it does a little fancy dance. So what we're going to do is go ahead and get rid of Rakam the second time. This is sort of annoying, but it might be because of the experimental branch. Maybe I shouldn't have been flying that today. There we go. So I've been able to clear that second Rakam. So I'll put up our flight plan really quickly, which is over here. Operational flight plan. And after Rakam, we're on the Q913 to CABC. So let's just make sure that that's back in there. The Q913 to CABC. Now, I'm not too sure why they've got the flaps in here. I know that that's a new part of the build in that they're trying to show us when the decel and the flaps point is, but it's a little bit early in my opinion, so I'm just not too sure this is sequenced properly. So let's go back to the beginning, double check. So we'll keep that discontinuity, and then Saver, Second, Deadkey, Except. Gonna ignore all those because there's for cam, and I'm sure as soon as we clear this discontinuity, the flap and the decel point will have time to rethink itself. So there's the Q193 to CABC, and then after CABC we're going to figure out what our arrival is to KBGR, but we've got a little bit of time to do that. We've got about an hour and 14 minutes on this flight, so not a lot of time. We will have to pull up the charts in Bangor, so why don't we go ahead and do that right now together. Here's the charts list in Bangor. And here's the airport. So it looks like there's only one runway, runway 15 or runway 33. It's a good length, so we won't have to worry about landing distance there. So we'll go ahead and pin that, and let's see what the approach looks like for 15 or 33. So there's an ILS 15 and there's an ILS 33, so it shouldn't be a problem today for us, given the dark nature of the evening, and we're not sure how wet it's going.
Toronto traffic, Jazz 7509 is about 7.5 miles to the southeast, inbound for the ILS 23.
So I'm not too sure which of the what the weather is over there in Bangor, and I haven't got it yet. So, but we'll go ahead and just plug this in anyway because it won't be much of an issue to change it if we have to. So here's the KBGR arrival.
We're just about set up here, so we're happy for you to close the doors once everyone's on board. Thank you.
There's no start and there's no transition, so we'll just go ahead and insert that, and we'll see what the chart had to say.
Okay, great. We're almost done.
So the chart said we would be 3,000 feet at Ikex. Ikex? I can't pronounce that. I do apologize. And then 2,100 feet at Umain, and then Yixco. So let's see if Ikex, Umain, and Yixco have come up. There it is. So CABC, Ikex, Umain, and then I'm sure 15 KBGR is similar to. That's fine. Yixo's not in there, but that'll be good enough for us to get us in there. You can see it's straight on. So this will be our flight plan. It'll work. I'm a little bit iffy on the new development, on the new experimental version, but we'll give it a shot. So here we have our flight plan ready. Continue on. Secondary flight plan is not yet modeled, I believe. It's changed a little bit, but it's not modeled. The RadNav we'll leave alone for now because it's a Toronto departure. And then now we're going to go back and see if the passengers have loaded, because we have 27 left on self-loading cargo, and have set the fly-by-wire one to be just a little bit faster than that. So you can see we have 141 passengers here. That way I can go to init B already pretty undisturbed, because we've got all our fuel on board, 7,240 kilograms, so I'm going to put in 7.2 in the block fuel. And I'm going to pull our zero fuel weight center of gravity from the aircraft. And today we have quite a heavy tailwind of 74 average knots on our flight, so we'll save some fuel. We'll get there quite a bit faster than expected. With an alternate of 1.2 that's into Boston. We won't be needing that today, but we have it. And we have our performance. For runway 23, we'll be using flap setting of 1. And we'll be using toga takeoff, as we don't have a flex. We could go 69, but we'll just use toga takeoff. Our V speeds. V1 is 131, VR will be 132, and V2 engine out 136. Excellent. And there's not much else we need to worry about here on the setup for the departure.
From the traffic, here can 17, 5 mile final. Runway 23, ground traffic.
So we've got the baggage and the catering. We've got 11 passengers left, so that'll be done shortly. So why don't we go ahead and get the APU on, because we need to push here very shortly in about 5 minutes. That'll make the passengers happy.
Was that aircraft calling Toronto traffic?
Here's the APU, and we'll throw on the beacon as soon
Toronto
as the
traffic.
last passenger's on board, which will be very shortly.
3-mile final, runway 23.
What we can do while we wait is just pull up the QNH here for Toronto, as I still don't have...
Alright, that traffic's on final for runway 23. I'm swinging in behind you. I'll keep us separated.
Okay, I'll clear as soon as I can.
Sorry, I was just saying there's still no ATC online. I don't have a available ATIS through Vatsim, through Pilot, so I'm just going to go ahead and order one through the aircraft. Turn here, and very shortly. So that beep beep beep, that was self-loading cargo telling me we're ready to go. And there's the company message. So receive messages. Here's the MEDAR. I've never seen that before. The Toronto ATIS is not available. Not an ATIS, it was just a MEDAR. Weather request. Well, I hope we don't have a crash here out of Toronto, because that's not looking too good that we didn't get a MEDAR. We'll try it one more time, see what they say. In the meantime, we'll go ahead and we'll close the doors. We'll get the APU on. The external power off. Test engine 1.
Hi, Captain. All passengers are on board and doors have been cleared.
Okay, thank you.
Get rid of the external power. And let's come back down here.
Toronto traffic, Ken 17 down and clear runway 23. Toronto traffic.
Yeah, still no Toronto MEDAR available. Okay, so we're just gonna wing it. We're gonna take 2-3. We're gonna do our fancy trick of pressing B.
This is your captain speaking, and on behalf
Get
of
the
myself, the
proper
first officer,
QNH.
and the cabin crew, I'd just like to
Michael.
give you a warm welcome on board the aircraft. As you may have noticed, we've now closed the doors and expect to be departing in just a few moments. If you could get yourself seated and secured while we get ready for pushback, it'd be most appreciated. If you require any assistance from the cabin crew, please press the button above your head and be sure to listen to the safety briefing that we'll be playing in a few moments. You'll hear from me again once we reach our cruising altitude, but for now, once again, welcome aboard and thank you for flying with us.
Cockpit to ground.
This is ground. Stand by.
Toronto traffic, Air Canada 7 taxiing hotel, crossing 3-3 left. Toronto traffic.
Okay, sir. The bypass pin is installed. All doors and hatches closed, and all ground equipment is removed.
Mic on.
The parking brakes are set. You may lift.
Alright guys, we've done a
Parking
couple
brake
things
set.
there.
Lifting the aircraft.
We've squawked 2000, we've blocked the cabin doors. We've got the tug connecting. As you can see, it's lifting the aircraft quite wonderfully. That's awesome.
Standing by for pushback.
And now we're ready for push. Got the beacon lights on. I've done the fire test. We have to get the fuel pumps on. We have to make a call on Unicom. Take a look around us. We're going to be pushing back here to the right. Toronto Traffic, Pilot Club 11, gate 137. Gonna be pushing and start here. Toronto Traffic. Alright guys, there's not too much more I need to tell them right now at the moment because nobody's, I'm sure, looking around.
Toronto traffic, Jazz 7509 is on a 10-mile final for runway 23.
Alright, Jazz is on a final, runway 23. And we're just getting set up here. So I'm just going to set up Volanta real quick. That way we have a log here. Give me 1 second, guys. $120. So this is our 120th flight on Vatsim, which is a pretty good achievement. Self-loading cargo says we're ready to push and start. I'm ready to push and start. Engines are on. Let's get back here. Check out thrust idle. That engines are set to off. Engine mode start. So we're going to disconnect the parking brake. And we are going to go reverse.
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead.
We are cleared for start and push.
Start the engine to start.
Cleared for push start.
Parking brakes are released.
Start engine 2. As soon as we start moving.
Start the engines in sequence.
There, he said we can start the
You will
engine.
start in the sequence.
Right, start engine 2. Whoops, losing a little frames there. Sorry about that. Alright, so let's just go outside and we'll steer the aircraft right onto one of the lines. Now we've got some snow here in Toronto, Canada today, which is lifelike to what it is. As I live here, not too far down from Mississauga, and I can tell you, there is probably similar to about this much snow. So quite well done. I don't have any mods for runways. I don't have any of that payware or freeware that I know is available to make the runways look nice and to get some of the seasons. But
Traffic or Channel 7 taxi.
alas,
Echo Tango,
Microsoft Flight Simulator is doing a great job.
crossing 33 right.
So I am trying to look for the line. There it is. So we'll start turning now. And I know that engine 2's probably started shortly.
Toronto traffic, Jazz 7509 is at a 3-mile final for 23.
There's an aircraft off to the right. He's going to be landing shortly. That's the one you hear on Unicom. And there's the line, so that's the one we're aiming for.
Stay calm and listen for instructions from the cabin crew. Oxygen masks will drop down from above your seat. Hi, Captain. The cabin is secured. All doors contact. We're ready to go. If you are traveling with children, make sure that your own mask is on first before helping your
That's
children.
good, thank you.
In the unlikely event of an emergency landing and evacuation, leave your carry-on
Alright guys, not the
mask
best push. I missed it a little bit there. It's hard to see with the snow. So that's the best we're going to get today. So let's go ahead and stop the pushback. Set the parking brakes.
While we wait for takeoff, please take a moment to review the safety daily
And I'm talking about the safety briefing, but it's for the cabin and we can't really hear too much of it here.
enjoy the flight.
So we need to do a quick peek at to where we're going to taxi to and where we're going to go. So we'll pull up the charts here again.
Ground. You may disconnect.
Okay, sir. Cleared to disconnect. Pin has been removed. See you at the side. Have a good flight.
Holding position waiting for the visual. Thank you and goodbye.
Alright guys, so that's the pushback mod. I love it. It's completely free. It's on flightsim.co. It makes that so much more immersive, quite active. It even has a lift and a set down feature, which is pretty interesting. So that's awesome, but we got to get going here. So we're going to get rid of that. And what we said on the charts here, what we were looking at just a moment, was we're at Alpha Kilo. We're going to taxi straight ahead up to Bravo Hotel Hold Short 23. So we're making a Unicom call. Toronto Traffic, Pilot Club 11. We're ready to taxi runway 23 via Alpha Kilo, Bravo Hotel Hold Short 23, and we'll give you a call. Toronto Traffic. Alright guys, so that's our radio call, so we're good to go. Let's just do a quick check here. Did we get engine 1 on? No, we didn't, so that's my bad. So we'll turn engine 1 on, and we'll get ready. We know engine 2's been started for a little while, and there's 7:55, so we kind of wanted to be in the air by now. But again, it's okay. We'll get there when we get there, and we hope there isn't too much traffic. So we'll get engine 2 started here very shortly. The EGT temperature is rising. Very shortly we'll have both engines ready to taxi, even though I made that call. So again, that was a bit of a mistake on my part, but I got distracted talking to you guys and with the push. But no excuses, not yet anyway, save them all for the landing.
Toronto traffic, Jet 7509, clear over runway 23.
Here we go, so that's engine 1 started, and it should say avail in just a minute. And I'll start my timer, there it is. So that's how long we know the engine's been running for, both of them anyway. So now we're ready to taxi, so let's just take care of a couple other things. Get the APU off. So we have both generators running. We don't need that. We don't need that. We've already called for taxi, so let's go ahead and turn the taxi light on and the strobe light on. It's dark, so we'll get the runway turn off light on a little early. That way we can see what's going on around us.
Mic off. Mic on.
Let's not forget here to go down and squawk mode Charlie, because I believe TCAS is working now in this mod, so we'll set that to TA for now. Turn on the predicted wind shear. Better trim to 0. Brake temperature is good, so set the auto brake max. Set the ground spoilers to R. We'll go to flaps 1, and I'm doing this for all the pre-mapped buttons that I have set. So all that's good. And let's just cycle through this real quick to get the airplane happy. Sometimes it just needs a second to get some of these settings. Systems coming through properly. So there's all the electrics. There's the hydraulics, plenty of fluid, lots of pressure, lots of fuel in the tanks. The APU has some in it, but it's turning off slowly. Cabin temperature.
Toronto traffic,
Doors
Jet
are
7509
closed and
taxiing
armed.
to the terminal from 23 via hotel. Holding short, we'll hold short 33, and then subsequently 33 right, as well as Bravo and Alpha Tango.
And I'll just let him know we'll be taxiing up on Bravo. He can take off. And Toronto traffic, this is Pilot Club 11. We're going to be taxiing northbound on Bravo. Just an FYI, Pilot Club 11, Toronto traffic.
Thank you for the heads up. We'll keep an eye out for you.
If you can take Alpha there southbound, if you get a chance, and make sure there's no problems there.
Say again.
If you wanted to take Alpha there, we probably have no problems there.
Okay.
Guys, just talking to him. So Alpha's the southbound, and I'm taking Bravo's the northbound, so that'll be the second. And again, finding this which way I'm going here is going to be fun. There it is over there. You can go ahead and get off the cabin light. That'll be okay. And what we need to do is give the ping of the cabin in the game. So it's not self-loading cargo.
Flight attendants, please prepare for takeoff.
But that is the one. So this will be Bravo right here, I hope. Or is it? Before I go any further, let me just double check. Yes, this will be Bravo. Don't want to miss it now. It's lit up nice and lit green and blue for us. A little bit of frame loss there again, sorry guys. So while we're on the roll here, let's just do the takeoff config test. Green, so ECAM no build. A little early for that, but that's okay. So while we're taxiing along here, we'll just make sure we don't really exceed about 20 knots or so, as it's weather conditions. And also we're going to get the engine anti-ice on for today. And I'm just going to take these away. So we're taxiing up along Bravo here. We're reaching about 19 or 20 knots. So we're just going to make sure we do a little brake test. Bring it right back down to about 10 knots. Just keep it a little safe under the snowy, slushy conditions. Of course, that's not really modeled in the braking model in this game. However, if it were, you would have noticed I wouldn't have been able to slow down about the 8 knots that I did that quickly. One of the things we haven't gotten, unfortunately, yet for our sim setup are rudder pedals. I know that sucks, but we're still using the Thrustmaster Airbus throttle quadrant. So that suits me quite well. I have the twist action for the rudders, pardon me, and I have the throttle quadrant, which is just the 2 throttles and the engine controls. I haven't got the captain's add-on yet with the spoilers, the speed brake, and the parking brake, so that would be nice too, but those are hard to come by. It is in the budget. I keep checking Amazon daily, and unless I'm willing to pay about 2 or 3 times over the asking price, you know, the normal price for those. I can't, here in Canada, get my hands on one. Maybe I'm not looking enough. I'm sure they pop up from time to time, but unfortunately I can't seem to get my hands on them. So anyway, guys, we're a little over 28 knots now. I've been waffling on. Haven't really paid attention to that, so let's slow down. About 15 knots as we have hotel coming up right here.
For the traffic on Bravo, I'm holding short for you.
Oh, thank you so much. We're going to make the right turn here on hotel, and then you can take whichever one you want. Thanks so much for your help. Have a great day.
No problem. Thank you. You too.
So that's a really nice fella right there. He's holding short for us on hotel. Of course it happened. We had all the time in the world. He's been flying for X amount of hours, and here it is that I'm in his way right when he needs to land. So I'm going to make sure I'm nice and low. Keep turning right, get out of his way, and there I go, runway 23. So, due to COVID protocols, we will be keeping the... Oh! What is that? I've never had that happen, so let's just click OK and see what happens. And I've fallen through the void. Well, this is interesting to have on stream. Wow. Oh, and now I've stressed the aircraft. So that was a bit of a failure. Well, guys, that was the stream today. We heard self-loading cargo go. They're not happy. They've got a little message. Maybe it will buff out. Well, maybe it'll buff out. Doesn't look like I've had much success here with Microsoft Flight Sim tonight. So we'll get rid of that. Yes. Well, guys, that's it for today. I'm not going to have enough time to set that up and start over and still get for the event on time. So I do apologize. This is a live stream. It was meant to be a bit longer. Doesn't look like it's going to turn out that way. I'm sort of at a loss for what to say there. I'm not sure what really happened. Apologize again. Thanks, guys, for watching. Francine, hello. Sorry for the stream. It's not what I had hoped. But here we are. So, guys, thanks for coming. We'll try and do this again maybe tomorrow, maybe this weekend, and see if we can sort out some of the issues that we've had. So, thanks for coming. Have a great day.